Hello students, welcome to the class of Operation Management 2020. My name is Imam Baihaki. I will be your lecturer throughout the semester. This semester is very special for you, not only for you, for everyone, not only in this campus, but also throughout the country and also around the world. Due to the pandemic, the course and also the lecture will be delivered online, and of course we'll be setting up some the infrastructure for you so you can learn the subject of the semester and also interaction, not only learning from the materials but also the interaction between you and me as a lecturer. Let me share a screen what we would like to do that explain what we would like to do during the semester. So this week I will explain, first of all, the essential aspect of this course, which explains the course outline, which describe the various topics that you will be learning throughout this semester. Secondly, I will also introduce to you the assignments that you will be doing and expected to be doing during this semester. And thirdly, of course, the most interesting part is how this course will be assessed. Okay, let's go through this slide. Okay, once again, my name Imam Baihaki. This is my name. Okay, how to contact me? You can go through the My ATS Classroom. There is a course outline that you can download from that website, and in that website there is my email address. So you can contact me by email address, or you can also send message or ask me questions using the forum that I set up in this My ATS Classroom. This is my background. So I have education in operation and supply chain management from Monash University, and also I did my master in management science in Lancaster University. I do a lot of works in operation management and also in the business involving the various trainings and consultings with the private and state-owned companies as well as government agencies. You can check out my publication using the throughout this website, okay, by clicking this one in Scopus as well as in Google Scholars. So what is the learning objective of the course? Okay, so by the end of the semester, what you will be expected to is to understand, first of all, is to understand the role of a management, the role of operation management as to the firm competitive advantage and in interaction with other business function. So it's basically you need to understand by the end of semester, you will understand how operation management improve competitive advantage and help company achieving competitive advantage. Secondly, the learning objective of this course is to develop the basic business and operation strategy for increased productivity and competitiveness for service and manufacturing. So in this operation management, you will be learning not only about the manufacturing aspect, but also the service industry. So you will be learning about the basic and operation strategy, how to improve operation strategy, both in manufacturing sector and service sectors. Thirdly, of course, you will be able to explain the operation process planning and control, including how to design product, how to design a process, capacity planning, scheduling, inventory, and material requirement planning. So there are a lot of things that you will be learning in this semester. Next, you will be able to examine the concept of managing peoples and process as part of the manufacturing system, okay, as part of the operation system. So once again, in this part, there is a human resource aspect of operation management. So in here, you will be learning about how to design operation that you can assign people to it. So you can assign human resource to it. So you can determine how many people you should be employed in a factory or you in operation in any operation in any sectors. Next one, of course, you will be able to analyze the decision problem in operation and the relationship of operation decision to other business decisions. And of course, the last learning objective is we want you to be able to communicate the result of analysis, of operation analysis, either in writing as well as in presentations. So these are the learning objective of this course. The textbook that we'll be using is number one is the main textbook by Hazer et al., which operation management, which is entitled Operation Management, Sustainability, and Supply Chain Management. What we have here is 12th edition. You can see this textbook in the My ITS classroom. There is a second textbook that will be a companion for the first textbook, which is by Jacobs and Chase, Operation and Supply Chain Management from McGraw-Hill. So the main textbook is actually by Hazer et al. Should we have another reading materials, I will be include that reading materials in the every topics that will be posted in the My ITS classroom. So this is the important part and this is the interesting part. How are you going to be assessed? There are 7 assessments that will be used to assess your performance on this course. The first one is class activity and tutorials, okay, which is contribute to 5%. So there will be weekly assignment that will be given to you, okay, and what we want is actually I want you to be active in the class. I don't want you to just listen and just taking notes, but what we want is what you want from you is to show your understanding by asking questions, because when you ask questions you're actually testing your understanding. When you answer others' question and when you involve in discussion with your peers or with your friends in the class, you actually showing up how you are understanding the concept that you learn from this course. So please be active. That is contribute 5%. In this online mode of teaching, how are you going to be active in the class? It is very simple. Okay, on every topic, okay, in the My ITS classroom, there is a one section called forum. So in that forum, if you have any questions, okay, please do not hesitate to post it on that forum. Okay, so either you do not understand with the concept that I gave in the class, or maybe you have some ideas related to what you have seen in the real world, or probably you see something in the newspaper, or probably you experience something, then you want to discuss. Then please do not hesitate to discuss that kind of things. This is what we want from you. And for those of you who can answer the question from your friend, please do not hesitate to answer that question as well. So this is the concept of the learning in which I will be facilitating your learning. I will not be able to answer all questions, but what I want from you is you answer question from your friend. Okay, so that contribute 5%. There are 3 assignments in this course, okay, which contributes contributes about 10% for the first assignment, 15% for the second assignment, and 20% for the third assignments. And number six, number seven. So number six is EBTS, which is Stanford in Indonesian. This is the acronym in Indonesian, which basically midterm semester exams. Number seven is actually final semester exams. So there are two exams that contributes 25% each. So are you ready for the assignments? So what are the assignments? What are the assignments? I'll explain to you here. So assignments number one, it is about operation management strategy. So assignment number one is actually cover topic one and topic two. So this is a group assignment. Okay. I know you are on your own home right now, but I want you to use all the tools that exist in this today's world. You know, there is a Facebook, social media, and so on. You can use those social media to form a group, okay, to discuss and do group assignments. So in these group assignments, you are required to choose two different products, companies that you are familiar with. Okay, so you need to choose a service company and a manufacturing company. Okay, it is advisable that your group pay a visit to the company and observe them. But of course, during this pandemic, you may not be able to visit that company, but you can visit that company virtually. How? You can just Google the name of the company, the name of the products, the name of things that you are familiar with. Go to YouTube, go to Google's, then visit that company or that process or whatever virtually. Then answer this following question. Okay. Number one, what are the order qualifier and order winner of the product and service you observe? Secondly, identify operation management tasks that exist and performed by those two companies. Okay. Detail of this assignment is available on the course outline or course guide that you can download it from the My ITS Classroom. Assignment number two is about improving operations. So in these assignments, okay, you are once again, you are required to work in group. Okay, so this assignment will help you in gaining skills to apply the quality function deployment to improve the existing product or service or create a new product or service. So you basically form a group and then think about something, think about service or operations that you are familiar with. Observe and then try to use quality function and deployment to improve that operations. Okay, and then by using that tools that we will explain to you later in the following weeks, use that tools and then come up with the solution. Come up with the solution how to improve the operations. Okay, what I mean with operation here is not necessarily to be a manufacturing, not necessarily to be something from the company, but you can observe the various operations around you. For example, you can go to petrol stations, okay, or gas station. Then you see, for example, any unease in that operation and you want to improve it. Okay, or you may go to a supermarket, for example. Okay, and of course, as a customer, you will be as an object of service. Okay, of course, sometimes you feel that you are treated not as you expect. So at that point, then you are required, okay, in this assignment, you are required how to improve that operation. Okay. So the quality function deployment is a systematic tools to identify what are the problems and then to identify how to solve that problems. You need to produce a reports that comprise the following structure. For example, the first one is introductions. Okay, explain the current situations that you are studying. Okay, the scope of the study and the objective of the study. Okay, methodology. I mean, that is very simple. That methodology also include how you communicate with your friends during this virtual world. Okay, who are in your group responsible for collecting data, who are in your group responsible for analyzing data, how did you collect the data, how did you analyze the data, if you do interview or you do survey, uh, how did you select the respondent and so on. And lastly, the last part of your report is analysis and discussions. Assignment number 3 is about work measurement. Once again, you are required to work in group. Okay, so in this assignments, you're required to conduct work measurement study in the process or facility that are easily found around you. So once again, okay, you do not need necessarily to go to a company, to go to organization, but just find something around you. Okay, and do work measurement. What is work measurements? We'll explain to you in the following weeks. Okay, and again, you need to produce a report with the structure that is described in this slide. All right. Should you have any questions about this assignments 1, assignment 2, and assignment 3, please do not hesitate to post it in the forum. All right, let's move on to the first topic about operation management. What is operation management? What is operation? As you see in the picture, there is a bank, company, a manufacturing company, a retail company, and also a restaurant company. They all have operation. They all have operation. So think about if you go to a restaurant, for example, and then think about how do this restaurant provide a menu to you, provide food and services to you, and deliver at the right time, at the right quantity, and at the right quality. So that is operation actually. So operation is actually explains how organization or company get things done. Get things done mean how restaurant get the menu and also the foods to you. In the retail operation, for example, you go to the supermarket, you buy something. Think about how do these retail supermarkets display all the products in front of you in the shelf. How did this company design a layout of the store? How did this company deploy all the employee that is going to serve you? So that is in retail operation. What about in a bank? Is there any operation in a bank? Yes, there is operation in a bank. Okay. What are they? Think about it. Okay. Think about if you go to the bank. Okay, you go to the bank. How do these people serve you? How do the bank locate the ATM machine, for example? Okay. How many ATM machine that they should deploy in that particular city, for example? In which location? So that is operation. How many branches they need to open? Okay. How do they arrange the queuing of the customer in front of the bank? So that is operation as well. Okay. So operation is actually exists everywhere. Okay. So for example here, the activities of core function in some organizations. Okay. We put here there are 4 organization type. The first one is internet service provider, fast food supply, fast food chain such as McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and so on. International aid charity. So this is the number 3 is the non-profit organization. Furniture manufacturing is the manufacturing company. As you can see here, all these companies have operation. Okay. What are the type of operation? For example, in internet service provider, that include maintaining the hardware, software, and the contents, implement new link and services. Okay. Fast food supply chains, fast food chain, for example, okay. Fast food chain restaurants make burgers, save consumer, maintain equipment, and so on. So basically, operation exists everywhere. And actually, operations also exist in other functions of the company. Take it, for example, marketing. There is a marketing, as there is operation aspect in the marketing. If you are a marketing guy, for example, you need to do marketing research. Okay, the marketing research, how to do marketing research is actually really really about marketing. But how to do survey, okay, deploying and organizing people to develop to do a survey, analyzing the survey, creating schedules, producing a marketing reports, that are actually operation. Okay, so again, and here you can see that operation is basically how to get things done. Okay, this is the operation management at IKEA. IKEA is the famous furniture retail stores. Okay, that they are not only selling product but also designing product. So they do design elegant products. So they are doing product design. Okay, so product design is part of the operation management as well. They do designing store layout that give you some kind of experience. Okay, ensure that the jobs of our staff encourage their contribution to the business success and so on. So this are the operation management in IKEA, which is the furniture retail store. Okay, so it's basically operation is the heart of any organization and usually require more time than other functions. I can say that more than 80% of the operation of the company's activity or organization activity actually operation. So again, operation is about how organization get things done. Okay, think about a mobile phone. Okay, every one of you have mobile phone, right? Think about it. And then what activities should be carried out to that so that a cell phone is available to the buyer? Think about it. Okay, I want you to think about it. Okay, then and if you have any ideas of it, okay, please do not hesitate to write it in the forum. How to make a mobile phone available to you from the very first raw materials until the retail stores. That will explain the operations. Okay, so basically operations, the scope of operation management are here. Okay, so that includes product design. So every company, whether it is a service company or a manufacturing company, they must have a product design. What I mean by product here is not only tangible product, but also service product. So is product design is dealing with what type of service, what type of product you should be, that you will be selling to the customers. Okay. And then once you have that one, once you decide that one, you go to material purchasing. And then once you have materials, You think about how to manufacture or how to realize that service, how to deliver that service to your consumer, and then delivery of the product, and then selling the customer the product to the customer. And of course, the end objective of the operation management is satisfied customer. To summarize this picture, operation management is about how to design and deliver product and service that is valuable to customer in order to satisfy customer. Okay. Okay, if you look at the organization charts, okay, this is in the bank, in the commercial banks, okay, this is operation aspect. So operation aspect including teller, scheduling, collect, check, clearing, collection, transaction processing, design and layout, and so on. Okay, this is in Ireland. There are a lot of operation in Ireland. Okay, in Ireland company. There are also a lot of operation, especially in manufacturing company. As you can see here, all these are operations activities. So what is operation management actually? Operation management is the set of activities that create value in the form of goods and services by transforming inputs into outputs. So there is a transformation process. So basically operation management is the way we manage the transformation process, okay, the way we manage the selection of the inputs and transformation of process and the delivering of the outputs. Okay, another definition, operation management is the activity of managing the resources, all resources, including time, machines, humans, money, software, and so on, which are devoted to the productions and delivery of products and services. Okay. And as I said before, operation management is not alone in the company. There is interrelationship between other functions, between operation management and other functions. Okay, so operation function has relationship with marketings and product and service developments, with marketings. Okay, what about with other aspects, with engineering, for example, with IT? Okay, so this is with human resources, and this is with accounting and finance. This is with engineering and technical function. So basically, operation management will create activities, and accounting finance will collect all this data, and all those activities actually create costs. So why do we study operation management? Operation management is one of the three major functions of organization. So we want to study how people organize themselves for the productive enterprise. So we do study OM in order to improve the productivity of the company, in order to improve the efficiencies and the effectiveness of the organizations. Okay, because we want to know how goods and services are produced. If you know how goods and services produced, then you can improve, or maybe you can come up with a new solution that is better, quicker, faster, and cheaper to make it. We want to understand what operation managers do. Okay, so by learning this, you will have the glimpse overview how what operation managers do. If you are become operation managers, then what you will be doing in that company. So this is the why do we need to study OM. Okay, and of course OM is a very costly part of organization. It is very costly because it is about deploying all the resources to get things done. Okay, Let's have a look this chart. Okay. Um, Let me put up my laser pointer. So this is the current situation. Okay. In the current situation here, we have sales about $100,000. Cost of goods is minus 80,000. So we have gross margin 20,000, finance cost and subtotal here, that's deducted by tax of 25%. Your contribution is actually $10,000, 500. So this is your profit. Okay, this is your profit. Of course, there are several ways to improve the profit. The second column of this chart is using marketing option. So marketing options, and here, if you want to improve your profit, yes, you can improve your profit by increasing sales. Okay, increasing sales, revenue 50%. Let me put up some formula here. Yeah, okay. So basically, profit formula, I put it P here, is equal to revenue minus cost. Okay. So if you want to improve the profit, there are two options that you can do here. First, improve your revenue. How to improve revenue? By improving or by increasing your sales volume. So this is what marketing option is doing by increasing sales. However, increasing sales will come with cost. Okay, cost of goods sold will increase. Okay, and other cost of goods sold is increased here. Another option is by using finance and accounting option. You want to reduce costs. Okay, you reduce cost by 50%. Yeah. So your revenue is still the same. Your revenue is still the same, but you reduce the cost of goods sold. Okay. But in order to reduce the cost here, about 50%, okay, it is not easy. It is not easy. Okay, this is the finance cost. It is not easy to doing this. Now look at the operation function. What operation function can do to improve the profit? Okay, operations offers very interesting option in here. So by doing reduction production costs only 20%, that will reduce the cost of goods sold. And of course, that will improve the gross margin. And as a result, 22,500 US dollars of the profit in here. So you can compare a marketing option with increasing 50% in order to improve only $18,000 of the profit. But only reducing 20% of the production cost, which is the operation management function. Okay, 20% reduction only will result in about more than double of the profit. So this is the opportunity that will be given to you. Why it is important? Why it is important to learn operations management? Okay, as I mentioned to you, operation management exists in any organization with different titles. Okay, and nowadays companies is very creative in putting titles of the managers. Sometimes they call it as administrative managers. So this is in hospital. Sometimes they call it a store manager. In retail store, they call it as store manager. In factory, such as in automotive factory, they call it as operation managers. Okay, so operation management in all type of organization, as you can see here, operation management in assembly factory is actually use machine to efficiently assemble products that satisfy current customer demands. Okay, in hospitals, okay, even hospital, which is service company, service organizations, there are a lot of operation in hospital. So what are operations management in hospitals? So operation management use knowledge to effectively diagnose condition in order to treat real and perceived patient concerns. Okay, so delivering operation, surgery, and so on in in hospital is actually operation management. Okay, as a management consultant, there is also operation management aspect. Even in disaster relief charity company, disaster happens, then there are a lot of operations activities that need to be doing in order to deploy the logistic, the foods and medicines aid in order to help those victim of the disaster relief. In fact, there is a special discipline in operation management nowadays that is really specifically learn how to improve operation in humanitarian operations, disaster relief. There are a lot of journals being written on it. Just go to the Google's humanitarian operations management. There are a lot of researchers who are doing this kind of research. Advertising agency, okay? So it's actually what I'm talking about here is operation management is everywhere. So it's basically operations management. Use machine to efficiently assemble product, use knowledge to effectively and diagnose the patients, and so on. So this is the process, the transformation process of operations management. So what operation managers do, okay, is in any other function of management, there are basically 5 aspects of management function: planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. Same with operation management. There are aspects of planning, there are aspects of organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling also. What are the scope of operation management? Okay, although I already explained in the picture of the scope of operation management, basically we can summarize here. There are 10 strategic decisions in operation management. The first one is design of goods and services, managing quality, process and capacity strategy, location strategy, layout, human resource, supply chain management, inventory management, scheduling, and maintenance. These 10 aspects that you will be learning in this semester. Let's have a look one of one. So, okay, the strategic decision, okay, design of goods and services. Okay, this is very strategic. This is will be starting of every process of operation management in any organization. So any business will be started with designing of goods or services. What type of product that you will be selling, what type of product that you will be making, what type of services that you will be offering to the customers. So this is design of product, goods and services. We will learn about how to design goods and services in this operation management, probably in the week 3. Managing quality is really the heart of operation management. How to deliver product at the right quality. Process and capacity design. Okay, how is a good or service produced? Okay, how many people that you need to devote? Okay, you need to deploy. How many machines and so on. So we are thinking about process design. How do we actually make products? Okay, Maybe you can work together with your suppliers. Okay, so this is related with the process and capacity design. Location strategy. How do we locate? Okay, in which locations your factory or your company to be located? Okay, there are what factors need to be considered. There are several factors need to be considered. Okay, this is also part of operation management. And then layout strategy. For example, if you go to IKEA, for example, or you go to supermarkets, there are a layout aspect in that company. In fact, if you go to retail stores, every period that the layout of retail stores, please observe, think about it. Think about, okay, when is the last time you visit retail store? When is the last time you visit the convenient supermarket, for example? And then think about it. Imagine that sometimes the location of the product is being moved to this area, then to other area. Okay, so that is a location layout strategy. The next part of the operation management is human resource and job design. It's actually we designing a job so that people can perform that job quickly without resulting any fatigue to that people. Okay, improve their productivity. So that is human resource management in operation management. And then there is a supply chain management, which is the integration between all the activities, not only between in one company, but also with suppliers and also with the retailers. And then inventory management, okay, in any company, whether it is production company or whether it is manufacturing company or service company, there is always inventory aspect on it. So our job is to improve the inventory management, which is to improve the cost of inventory management. How do we have inventory that is cheaper cost? Or sometimes maybe we need to ask questions. Do we need to have any inventory, or do we need just to have a zero inventory? We'll be learning about that in inventory management. Schedulings, okay, it's actually determines, okay, how to utilize personnel and facilities, how to assign people, how many and when to assign people to do that job. That is also, there is also maintenance aspect in strategic decision in operation management. Okay, where are the operation management jobs? As I mentioned before, this is the job of operation management. Okay, there are lots of it. There are lots of it. There are also certifications. If you want to have certified in operation management, these are certification from the professional bodies, certification in operation management. To the time limit, due to the time limit, I will not be explaining this picture in more detail, but this picture basically tells us the development of the discipline of operation management. Okay, and it's still developing until now. The recent development is about business analytics. So the growing trend of the IT, information technology with Internet of Things, and also data science, big data, and so on. Now there is a growing trend of using business analytics in improving operations management. So this is where we are now. Okay, I'll skip this one. So operation for goods and services. What are services? So here basically I will explain the difference between good and services. So this is on the left column is the characteristic of services, and the right column is the characteristic of goods. Okay, there are huge differences between these two. Okay, Services is something that is intangible, but you can feel it. Okay, but good is something that is tangible. So, for example, the production of shoes, for example, shoes is the product that you can hold it, you can carry it, and so on. But in services, something that you cannot touch it, so it's intangible. For example, an airline. Okay, airline industry, riding in an airline seat, okay, is something that is intangible. Airline seat itself, you can touch it, it is intangible, but the service that is offered by the airline is not the seat, but the experience that is you will be doing in that airline is the service. Okay. Service will be produced and consumed simultaneously, where in the product, first of all, product will be produced and then will be kept in the inventory in the warehouse, and then once being kept, it will be delivered to the customer. Okay, so for example, let's say for example, two similar products. In the beauty salon, for example, you do your makeup, hair makeup, facial, and so on. Okay, the service of makeup, beauty salon, you do haircut and so on, will be produced and consumed simultaneously by you. It is impossible, for example, I want to do my haircut and then you put off your hair and then leave it on the beauty salon. No, you should be there. You should be there. You will be produced. So you are also the product. However, some of the product that is used in the production of the service, such as in here, beauty care product, is a tangible product. Okay, let's say for example, you have something in your tooth and you go to the dentist, or you have something in your body, you go to the doctor. Okay, you cannot just go to the doctor and then leave it and then ask the doctor to do something for you without you being there. You should be there. So that is the one of the characteristic of the service. I will not be explaining one by one here due to the time limits. Okay. So again, operation management is basically transformation of inputs into outputs. Okay, I'll explain here. Operations, input resources, and then become product or services. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, so input can be materials, information, customer. So customer can be an input also. Facilities and stuff. Okay, so what being transformed, not only raw materials, but sometimes what being transformed is also facilities and stuff. Okay, and then customer here. Output are product and service that add value to customer. Okay, something that has been changed due to transformation process. If there is nothing changed after transformation process, that means there is nothing happen in that transformation process. So there must be something happen in the transformation process that is indicated by the changing of the input into output. So let's have a look at these examples. Okay, there are several types of the transformation process here. Okay, the first part is this inputs. Okay, this column here, predominantly processing inputs of materials. Here, predominantly processing informations, where here is actually predominantly transforming customer. So customer being transformed. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, so the transformation process has changed various transform resources attributes. For example, the first one, transformation of materials. In a manufacturing company, it's basically changing or transformation of the physical property of raw materials. For example, in the shoes manufacturing, leather, okay, the sheath of the leather being transformed into shoes. Okay, in post office, for example, or in the courier services, okay, you want to send something by courier, for example, okay, the product that you're sending in the post office or courier still the same, nothing being transformed, but the location of it being transformed. Okay, so that is operation. What about in retails? Nothing has been transformed in the retails. Okay, you go to the shop buying this jacket, for example. Okay, there is nothing happen. But what happened in that retail store is the change of ownerships. Okay, so this is the information that being transformed. Okay, change information properties. Okay, what about customer? Okay, for example, here hairdresser. I want to have my hair being cut, for example, or probably I want to add more hair here in hairdresser. So what is happening here is changing in the physical property. Okay, in the hospital, what's happening in the hospital? Of course, changing of the physiological state of the patient. Okay, patients who are ill coming to the hospitals, transformation process. Okay, and then patient become healthier. Okay. What about in tourism industry, for example, or cinema, something like this, okay? Like in the entertainment industry, changing in psychological state, okay? From, okay, before you see the cinema, okay, you may feel something, but after this, seeing the cinema, you feel something else, okay? Your feeling being changed by this transformation process. Okay, and of course, there are several type of the productions and several type of organization. There are organizations who are purely products, okay? But there are also organizations who are combination between product and services. Look at these examples. So, crude oil productions, they are actually nothing to do with services. What they are doing is actually related 100% with pure product, tangible product. But in aluminum manufacturing or automotive manufacturing company, okay, there are about 90% is about product, but probably 10% is about service. Service, what does it mean by service here? Okay, probably about warranty and so on and so on. What about in restaurant? Restaurant, okay, restaurant is the combination between good production and service production. Okay, restaurant is not only about how, you know, how good the employee of the restaurant is smiling to the customer, how good the waitress of the restaurant serving this customer. Okay, if the product itself, food in the restaurant is not good, that means the restaurant cannot be considered as deliver good quality. So restaurant is the combination between goods and services, and so on. So you can have a look this one. Okay, so there are company who are pure service, but there are company who are pure product, but there are also company who are combination between product and services. Okay, I'll skip this one. The exercise, I put this exercise as assignments of this week assignments. Please do the assignments individually. Okay, typology of the operation. There are two types of typology of operation here, which is comprises of two dimensions. volume and variety. Okay, this is typology of manufacturing operation based on volume and production variety. So here, there are several types of productions in bulk manufacturing, several types of production typology. The first one we call it as flow shop or mass production. The first characteristic of mass production is the volume of the product is really high. It's really high. However, the variety of the product is very low. They're producing only one or probably two products, but the volume is very high. For example, you go to the company like, let's say about the fried oil company, for example. Okay, the volume is really high. And in fact, if you produce in low volume, it will cost you that much. The cost will be increased if you produce in low volume due to the technology that is required to produce that product. In cement industry, for example, okay, you know cement is building materials. Okay, cement industry, the facility is really huge, comprises probably hectares of land. The product is only cement, but the volume is very high. Okay, the variety of product is only one. And then batch productions. Okay, so this is the characteristic here: specialized skill, more systemic, standard systemization, standardized facility, low cost. So this is example also. Mineral water. Okay, the mineral water factory. Variety, not that much variety. The variety of the product. What I mean by variety is the variety of product, not variety of the packaging of the product. Yes, there are few variety of packaging in mineral water, for example, 1 liters, 600 milliliters, 2 liters, and so on. But that is not variety of the product. All the product is actually water. What about this one? We call it as a project type of production or project type of typology. Okay, variety is very high. Okay, one product to another product is totally different. This is what we call it as a high variety. For example, the cruise ship production. Okay, if you cruise ship productions, you go to the shipyard there. From one cruise ship to another cruise ship, totally different. So that's why variety is very high, but the volume of the product is very low. Okay, they are probably only producing one or two. What about job shop production? Job shop production, that is the productions that will be start once there is a job request. There is a job request. Okay, that's why the volume not that high, depending on the request of the customer, but the variety is very high because every customer has their own design. What about in service company? Similar to the production company, there is mass service and there is a professional service. Very simple here, very simple explanation about mass service. Okay, mass service is bus, let's say for example, bus services. Bus volume is very high. Okay, once the bus departed from one location, there is probably 50 people on that bus. Okay, but the route of that bus is one single route. Customer cannot go to their own route. They cannot request to be routed to their own route. On the other hand, on taxi service, call it a professional service, on taxi service, the variety is very high. You can go to wherever you want with taxi, but of course the cost is really high. And not that many people in the taxi, probably only you in one single taxi. So that is the difference between different typology. Okay, there are another two dimensions of the typology, which is demand and also visibility. Okay, so here, the volume, okay, the first two dimensions that I just mentioned, the first two typology that I mentioned is based on volume and variety. Here, there is another dimension, which is variety in demand and visibility. So variety in demand can be high and also can be low. Can be high means change capacity. Variation in demand can be like, customer can change their order quickly. Okay, but low variation in demand mean, okay, very predictable, high utilization, low unit cost, and so on. What visibility? Okay, demand visibility, and so on. And here, so let's see these examples of this table. Okay, I'll skip this one. Okay, so I'll skip this slide. Okay, so this is the operation typology example. So for example, variation in demands, electricity consumption. Variation is really, variety in demand is really high. Emergency services, for example. Emergency services such as fire units, for example. Probably in 1 month, probably in 1 year, there is no order on emergency. So sometimes there is one huge order, then on another times there is no order. That is what we call as variation of demand is really high. But in here, in this company, like say bakery company, okay, variation in demand is stable. Every morning people need white breads. Okay, department stores, safety trucks, okay, all the same. Okay, the demand quite stable. What about visibility? Okay, the visibility of the productions here is really high. This is, for example, dentist. You can see what is being done by the doctors in the dentist. In music theater, or you can see it. If you cannot see it, that is not music theater. Okay. But in this aspect, most of the manufacturing company, you cannot see how your mobile phone being produced. You will not be able to go to the factory. Okay, for example, if you want to buy mobile phone, you do not need to come to the company. All right. So this is the typology of operation as a function of product life cycles. Okay. So sometimes if your product is really new products, nobody know it, no customer, even probably you do not have a name of it. So this is what we call as the early market introduction. Sometimes you use a project and job shop in here. Okay, this is exercise. Also, I put that this exercise in the My ITS classroom as a topic 1 assignment, weekly assignment for you. All right, so this is the productivity. A lot of times operations is actually measured by productivity. And one of the objective of the operation management, of course, to improve the productivity. The equation of the productivity is unit produced divided by input use. But there is a multi-factor productivity. Okay, multi-factors means multiple resources to produce one input. So multi-factor productivity is output divided by how many labors you use, how many materials you use, how much energy you use, how much capital, and so on and so on. This is multi-factor productivity. Another measure of the operation management, especially in the factory, is inventory turnover. So inventory turnover measures how quick the company turns in inventory or into sales. This is the formula: cost of goods sold divided by average inventory value. So that is our lecture today. Once again, should you have any questions, please do not hesitate to post it to the forums. And the slides that have been presented just now can be downloaded from my ITS Classroom. But my message to you, please do not only learn from the slide that I've given to you. The slides, the PowerPoint slides, is only used as a guidance for learning. Use that point, the PowerPoint, use that slide, okay, in order to guide you learning the textbook, in order to guide you in discussion with your groups, in discussion with your peers. That's it for today. Thank you very much. See you next week.